What's up guys, this video present to you a little on the SingHealth Inspiration and Caregivers Award 2011 ceremony. So it took place at Health Promotion Board Level 7 auditorium. So let's go and check it out.
And they make life more interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life more meaningful. I do believe both our inspirational patients and caregivers can give testimony to this. Challenges, to my mind, also represents opportunities to innovate, improve our care, and also to ensure that we touch the lives of others. Last year, in 2010, we launched the Inspirational Patient Award to recognize patients who have displayed outstanding behavior and positive attitudes which have inspired our healthcare staff. This year, we have gone one step further. We include and recognize inspirational caregivers.
Laurie. He has since endured 7 months of treatments, numerous surgeries, and countless hours of painful physiotherapy. He was so determined to get back to normal life that he drew up a mental timeline for his recovery. It wasn't easy since he was bedridden for 2 months, but that didn't dampen his spirit. Today, Mohammed is looking forward to going to NTU, where he will be studying mechanical engineering. In May 2010, Chen Ju-cheng, a retired teacher and freelance writer, had a stroke that left him unable to speak and paralyzed on his right side. Mr. Chen found it extremely difficult at first to cope with his disability, as he now had to rely on his family and maid for everything. Refusing to give in to his condition, he worked hard towards his recovery and participated in countless physiotherapy sessions, determined to recover. Mr. Chen's condition has been improving, and he remains motivated and positive, hoping to return to the life he once knew and indulge again in his passion for writing. Jane Lim was diagnosed with stage 2A breast cancer. Despite her condition, she is actively involved in the hospital's Look Good, Feel Better program, which gives her the opportunity to reach out to other breast cancer patients, to share with them her experience and to encourage them to look forward and be happy. Her warm and friendly personality, as well as her positive outlook to life, has brought hope and encouragement to many. She strongly believes that life is better when you look and feel good. Goh Chun Hui was born with thalassemia, a bone marrow condition which requires regular monthly blood transfusions and daily medication. However, Chun Hui makes it a point to stay positive and tries to educate and inspire others by sharing his own experiences and keeping them updated of the latest developments in the thalassemia world. He has already started spreading hope to others through his website blog as well as through Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Chun Hui has his hopes and dreams and won't allow himself to be set back by a mere condition. Tan Lei Sing suffers from a genetic disorder where it affects the body, mainly the brain, the nervous system and the muscles. Lei Sing has had to endure muscle weakness and pain, recurrent headaches, delusions and hallucinations, bouts of flashes and seizures, loss of appetite, vomiting, as well as stroke-like episodes over the past 4 years. Nevertheless, Lei Sing is determined to get well and where possible, function independently. She used to be completely dependent on others, but now she is able to perform some of her daily activities on her own. Despite her condition, she has progressed so well and it is amazing how far she has come. After suffering 6 months of fever, unexplained fatigue, lack of appetite and continued weight loss, Phyllis finally checked herself into the hospital. She was diagnosed with having stage 3 ovarian cancer. There was a tumor in her ovaries and she had to undergo an emergency hysterectomy. Phyllis was determined to get well and realized the importance of having people to talk to and to share experiences with. Phyllis joined the support group where she is an active member. She has since been consistent, determined and committed to befriending other patients. Quek Ju Kwang, an insurance agent, suffered a hemorrhagic stroke in January 2009 that rendered him completely speechless and paralyzed on his entire right side. For him, not being able to speak was worse than not being able to walk, as his livelihood depended on it. But Ju Kwang was determined to recover. As he suffers from an inability to perform coordinated movements, it took him 2 weeks just to learn 2 words. However, it didn't matter, for he believed that as long as there is an improvement, he will keep on going. He has an unwavering willpower and he never complains about the exercises he has to do, as he is determined to recover from his condition. Lim Ziyang had just graduated with a degree in chemical engineering when he started experiencing numbness in his leg. A checkup revealed that he had cancerous tumors in his spine. He had to go through chemotherapy and surgery to remove the tumors. After his operation, he remained positive about learning how to walk again and going through chemotherapy. It is his attitude of always looking at the positives rather than the negatives that sets Ziyang apart from most men his age. Ziyang talks to the other patients during his chemotherapy sessions, sharing his own experiences with them, giving them hope of recovery from cancer. Mohidin suffers from short gut syndrome and has to wear a stoma bag for the rest of his life after a colon surgery in 2006. Understandably, Mohidin was upset, but all for 1 week. He picked himself up, accepted his fate, and made a new life for himself that included adjusting to his new diet. Nutrition pumped into him via his central line. Despite his condition, he remains cheery and positive and never gives up. He used to be a marathoner, but for now, he has to settle with brisk walking, though his heart and mind are set on the Sundown Marathon in May 2011, when he hopes to run his first 10 kilometers after a very long while. Madam Ng Gek Eng was diagnosed with leukemia in April 2008. It was difficult for her to go through a stem cell transplant, regular blood tests, and blood transfusions. Despite it all, she never gave up. She was able to reignite her hobby of doing origami flowers. She started conducting classes for patients and staff and even created a step-by-step instruction booklet for patients to take away with them to occupy their time with folding while waiting to see the doctors at the center. Madam Ng can often be seen in the wards, visiting patients and sharing with them not only her passion for origami, but also her life experiences. In 2008, Kenneth was diagnosed with severe aplastic anemia, a bone marrow condition. He decided to undergo a bone marrow transplant and had to stay in the hospital for about 6 months. During that time, he lost all his strength and muscles as he could not exercise, but his outlook to life changed for the better. He had secured a place in NAFA, but because of the transplant, he had to defer his enrollment for a year. It is his love for dance that kept him positive. Kenneth faced his illness with such drive and determination as he knew what he wanted and was planning for his future. He cherishes his life so much more now and is pursuing his dreams. Elizabeth Poi had stage 4 rectal cancer, which had also spread onto her abdominal walls. She knew that there would be little chance of a cure and felt a sense of urgency to live some of her dreams. She loved to make people laugh, so she published a book about her experiences growing up, do a stand-up comedy act, and mount an adventure travel photo exhibition. As she battled her illness, Elizabeth helped raise funds. Her photo exhibition raised $4,000 for a school in Nepal, and her stand-up comedy show raised $17,000 for National Cancer Center. She also hopes to raise at least $50,000 for charities with the sale of her book. Kwek Peng Eng was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and in April 1997 had both her tubes and ovaries removed. Peng Eng was determined to get well. She believes that with strong moral support from those around her, cancer was not a death sentence. For the past 13 years, she has been providing moral support to 69 patients through the SGH-NCC Gynae Onco Support Group, which she helped set up at NCCS. Peng Eng is so devoted to her support group that even when her cancer returned in 2002 and was undergoing chemo herself, she still visited the other patients because she knows how important group support is. Carla Selvin suffered a massive heart attack in 2006. Despite undergoing surgery, his heart continued to fail until the only option left to him was a heart transplant. Fortunately for him, he received a donor heart in just 2 days. However, he developed an infection in his left leg and to save his life had to have it amputated. Carla couldn't accept being an amputee and felt suicidal. Fortunately, his wife managed to turn him around. Thankful for the second chance at life, Carla now spends part of his time encouraging other heart patients waiting for a transplant, sharing his experiences and offering words of consolation and reassurance. 10 years ago, Salina was diagnosed with an enlarged heart. She suffered severe breathlessness and couldn't get out of bed. In May 2009, her condition hit rock bottom and she had to be implanted with a device to assist the heart to pump blood. That was when she began to at least have some semblance of a normal life. Salina has managed to find a part-time job doing administrative duties. However, she spends most of her time at the Heart Center for physiotherapy and tests. She is willing to put up with all of it and do whatever it takes to get well for herself and her family. Ong Gyok Lam was a giving person. Since his younger days, he never hesitated to give something to anyone in need. When he was in NNI for a heart scan, he saw a man limping into the clinic. He immediately asked his wife to go to the pharmacy to buy a walking stick for the man. Mr. Ong's display of heartfelt generosity and kindness has touched the lives of many. Mr. Ong battled with pancreatic cancer and a heart condition for the past few years. He underwent operations and radiotherapy, but last year his condition took a turn for the worse and he succumbed to his illness on 20th November 2010. In March 2009, Clarence Chan discovered that he had a tumor in his brain the size of a tennis ball. he had to go through surgery or else he could die. Despite having had 30% of his brain removed and losing his eyesight, Clarence still managed to pick himself up, learning the white cane technique all on his own. He even learned to play the keyboard and became a WSQ certified masseuse. He plans to use his setback and experiences to inspire others by giving inspirational talks. Although he keeps himself busy learning and doing new things, Clarence still makes time to visit the old folks' homes as often as he can, bringing with him the joy of music. After a medical checkup in August 2009, Jeffrey was found to have hypertension, a high cholesterol level, sugar in his blood, and a bad liver condition. Since his diagnosis, however, he turned his life around, focusing on getting well. Today, a healthy diet and regular exercise is part and parcel of Jeffrey's new lifestyle. He swims regularly and runs about 12 kilometers every other day. Jeffrey is enjoying a better quality life and was recently given a clean bill of health and making time to take care of himself, something he feels everyone should do likewise for a healthier life. Xiao Yokbing has been dancing for more than 50 years, in spite of having had Parkinson's for close to 10 years. Mr. Xiao has a pleasant and cheerful demeanor and remains highly spirited, talking passionately about his love for dancing. In his heyday, Mr. Xiao was the go-to man for large-scale productions including Chingay parades and National Day parades. Today, he is semi-retired but continues to teach ballet and cultural dance to students as young as 7 years old. He inspires others with his cheerfulness, constantly pursuing his passion for dance and living a normal life. Tuberculosis in the intestine is an extremely rare condition. So when Teo Pui Gig's medical checkup revealed that she had this condition, she was worried that the bacteria could also spread to other parts of her body. Fortunately, her condition could be treated with medication. However, she had to go to the nearest polyclinic every day for 6 months for her daily dose of medicine. Most patients would naturally dread going to the polyclinics every day, having to take 10 different kinds of tablets, big, small, and some bitter. But not Madame Teo. Every day for 6 long months, she was always bright and cheerful, bringing joy to those around her.
He is accompanied by enrolled nurse Shanas and enrolled nurse Fahana. Mr. Chen's positive attitude and determination to recover teaches us to work hard and not to be afraid of any difficulties and hurdles in life and work, says staff nurse Veronica Tan from Ward 28. Mr. Chen Chu-Cheng joined us today. Staff nurse Veronica Tan accepts the award on his behalf.
就上明天的报纸，直接打。没有啊，没有啊，直接打去上。所以不知道还有一个拿出去了，等下。
Nurse clinician Sophia Chua feels that with Jane as a role model, other patients who face the same difficulties will be encouraged to overcome them. Please welcome Madam Jane Lim Siu Cheng. Now I'll introduce the winners from KK Women's and Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Vincent Lin nominated Chun Hui because he was inspired by his resilience towards his condition and his encouraging efforts to create a website that not only allows others to know more about the medical condition, but also advises patients with similar conditions on how to lead a happy and fulfilling life. Please join me in welcoming Chun Hui. Mr. Vincent Lin, Mr. Director of Corporate Communications, to receive his award. Ms. Anlay Singh could not be with us today to accept the award on her behalf.
Thank you.
Ms. Singh made me believe that miracles do exist if you believe it, says Thomas Delphi Tan from Board 46.